Hey, Unpaid Lunch listeners, you can find us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and ad-free as a Prime member on Amazon Music. Find us on social medias and YouTube at Unpaid Lunch. On your break today, me and Ryne are in studio, coming back from our hiatus, calling in last week. We talk about a mental health day, and Ryne brings his son to not talk on the mic. All right, time to clock out for lunch. Welcome to Unpaid Lunch, and thanks for spending your break with us. I'm Heavy D. With me, as always, is Rhino. We're back. We called in last week.
We did call in last week,
which is
incredibly necessary. It felt like.
Yeah, we've yet to do that. We had a lot of people reach out and stuff about about us not being at work.
That was the first time in 33, 34 weeks?
34 weeks, I think.
I feel like we had an ample amount of PTO saved up. We probably didn't actually call in. That was a pre-planned day. I like to think of it that way.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on. We were both kind of having mental health weekends. It felt like
mental health months.
Yeah, my dad was sick and in the hospital, and your family was going through shit. So
and it's been a trying time. We're through it for the most part now. You know, I mean, it took some time. I mean, I've had my anxiety medication, so there's that.
Yeah. Your sciatic is not hurting today.
My sciatic is not hurting. But I think it's because I've just been running so much. So I'm actually properly stretched out right now, so it actually feels good.
Or it's just numb and you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, it's probably that too. I mean, I would go with numb. If I could just make it numb all the time without heavy medication, I'd do that. One thing that we have not done, clear my throat here, is since our last episode, one of our guests, I wanted to give them a spotlight and definitely call out the wonderful event that they threw. Psycho Silico. We had Mr. Tyler Payne here a few episodes back, done his big premiere over in Virginia for the premiere of Silico Solutions. I was actually lucky enough to be able to go over there and view that as a VIP, and let me tell you, that was one hell of an experience.
Man, I didn't get to go, but living vicariously through you, and it was like, I was like, please send me all the shit so I can see everything.
God. I loved it. I've got some signs or some posters that he signed for us. It's like, quit your fucking job. And like, it's phenomenal.
And you fucking loved it, right?
Oh, I loved every minute of it. So he's like, what do you want me to sign it to? I was like, definitely Unpaid Lunch. He's like, oh, I got you. And it's like in this pretty little silver marker.
God, I love him.
I love him. He's fantastic. So the whole entire event went great. Just kind of give a quick, kind of drive by into what happened there.
Drive by. Boys in the Hood.
He had everything set up at a small, very, you can hear them like
kids are playing,
beating the hell out of each other in the room. I heard touchdown.
Ryan's son wanted to come see what the podcast was like, and he wanted to come be on the podcast, and really he just wanted to come play with my kids. I think.
Yeah, that's 100% what's going on.
He's like sitting here for like 2 minutes and was gone.
I'm sitting here trying to go through a train of thought, and I heard touchdown in the other room. So it is what
we have a good time.
But this little theater, it was perfect. The way he had everything set up, it had a balcony and things for the VIP if they wanted to go up there. It had a ground level for everybody else.
For horror, man, it's like premium.
It's perfect.
How it should be.
I mean, it feels like you could get killed in that movie theater. Yeah. So it kind of, works out perfectly. Definitely not going to get into the film because that's his baby and he's definitely getting ready to take it on the road. But the whole entire experience was phenomenal. I think it was about like an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, and he got the like people showed up and it's awesome. And now he's
standing parts. I think what really kind of set him off, there's parts where he's like, man, people's going to cringe.
Yeah.
And people laughed and it kind of set him off. He's like, huh.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, whether you know that you're doing this or not, I was like, there's a couple times where he gave off Evil Dead vibes. It's like, I was like, there's some camp in here and it works perfectly.
I can't wait to get out and see it.
I know he's got one coming up. I want to say it's in Tennessee, coming up over the next month or so.
Unpaid Lunch on the road.
I would love to go. I mean, I would love to go and set something up. How cool would it be to go and actually sit up and do a show there?
Why can't we?
I don't know. Tyler, if you're listening to this, let's make this happen. The one part redemption story here. This is not a numbered episode in our catalog.
Oh yeah. I kind of want it forgotten about, I think.
Oh, God. I'm going to eat some shit here.
Yeah, eat the crow.
Which,
eat
I
it.
mean, the chicken was better than eating the shit. So I will say that. But Micah, if you're listening.
Well, you got it this time.
Many apologies. I did get my food this time, and we had some conversations. I hope Micah doesn't mind me using him here, but they had a food truck set up, and this is the same food truck that I'd kind of really, what's a good word for it?
You know what, man? We were growing at the time, right?
We were growing, and I was...
Whatever was content, we were there.
I was going through a negative spree there.
Yeah.
But, they had everything set up. You know, you got your VIP ticket, you got a shirt that was custom made for you. You know, What Up Kate Designs, phenomenal work. That was awesome. That is.
Oh
that
yeah,
is
yeah. She's fucking awesome.
Phenomenal work on
Shut
the
up,
t-shirt. Kate, that was awesome. Go out getting food at the truck, and I walk up and we lock eyes, me and Mike, and he's like, "I honestly didn't expect you to be here." I was like, "I'm all for a good redemption story, and you know, I wanted to give it a second chance." He said, "Well, I'm glad." He said, "I just wanted to let you know that I never thought in a million years that the guy that took my GameStop pre-orders that I looked up to would be my first hater for my own personal business." It's like, damn, that hurt.
Ouch.
That hurt really bad.
Well, I mean, we didn't call the name of it out, right?
No.
But it's fucking.
But it was pretty implied. So.
It's okay. This is our retraction.
Like I said, this is a retraction. I loved the food. The food was phenomenal. We've even had conversations on the side thereafter, and he's even said that he would like to come on and talk.
Yeah.
About his truck and things like that. And I'm sure it'd be a pretty funny conversation.
I might be crazy, but I'm pretty sure I played Magic against him.
You have.
Right.
Oh, yeah. From what I understand, the man prefers the Pioneer format.
Yeah, but back in the day, like
he played back in the day.
Yeah, but I think he might have come to Hob and played, and like I played him at Cav, like yeah.
Oh yeah, but Micah, retraction food was fantastic, man. I'm definitely going to hit up the business again sometime.
Bring the show some chicken.
Yeah, bring it on. Well, I mean, there's literally a kitchen right there. Or just cooking with unpaid lunch. But the whole entire experience was phenomenal. They done a Q&A after. I didn't get a chance to stay because, like we kind of alluded to a minute ago, I had some stuff going on with the family. I was even surprised I was able to go because we had a death in the family and was kind of working through things like that. But,
well, you were kind of in the middle of, like, in that zone where nobody does anything but sit around and cry. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and there was nothing to do but sit around and cry.
And I needed the decompression to get out because I'm the type of person that, you know, it kind of ties directly into the episode.
Yeah, you were like, man, I don't really want to should I go? And it's like everything. I was like, well, you're not going to do anything tonight. What are you missing out on, you know?
Well, I'm the type of person I grieve, but I grieve in a different way. People go through the process of mourning and crying and things like that. And I try to go straight up like Autobot, like turn into like this big, huge freak machine that's like, I can shoulder everyone's burden, make sure everyone's okay, make sure.
You preaching to the choir, baby.
Yeah, I try to be the rock, and then usually about 2 years later, I have an implosion.
I don't share a damn thing. Remember that time my best friend died and I didn't deal with it?
You've still not dealt with that.
That's okay. It'll all come to a head.
It'll hit one day.
Yeah, that's fine.
You'll probably have a heart attack for all the stress that's going to build up.
That's good.
That and all the grease.
That's what you need, right, Wes? Wes in studio needs all his friends to die.
I think he was asleep when you called on him right there.
Yeah. Wes is the laborer of the crew. He always shows up like covered in grease or covered in oil. And me and Ryne are like, man, my back hurts. I'm sitting at my desk all day.
Yep.
100%. Like, my back hurts because I've been under a truck. That's fine.
Well, I think I figured out why mine's been hurting so bad is we were doing like fall ball on Sundays, like fall baseball. The last, weekend before last, we did something. But 2 of the last 3 weekends, it's not launched, and miraculously, I don't hurt. So maybe it's just Ryne stay off the pitcher's mound.
Yeah.
You're about to be 40. Don't do that anymore.
Let somebody else do it.
So I'm not hurting nearly as bad as what I had been, but, you know, I digress. But it kind of, good old-fashioned segue transition to kind of what we're going to talk about. What are you doing?
I don't know where my phone is.
Did you lose your phone?
I had some shit I needed to look up, and I don't know what I did with it.
I don't know.
It's fun. I'm not. I don't know. I'm gonna send somebody after it. Wes is on the job.
Well, you're in there, smack my kid and tell him to shut up.
Ah, they're good. I know you love to hit kids. Go ahead.
we give you free ride. So there you go. We got a phone. So, main thing we wanted to talk about today, and I've kind of been talking to my former colleagues. We still work for the same company, but not in the same department anymore. But we've been talking about it. October is National Depression and Mental Health Screening Month.
Shout out our mental health. Shout out our mental health, particularly. Wes and the mental health maniac.
Oh my god, that's literally what we had to take last week off.
Yeah.
Like it was literally a mental health weekend. Like we even came down here. Like we stood outside and was like, should we shoot this episode? We're like, fuck it, we're leaving.
Man, I just couldn't, like, I was in such a terrible mindset, and like I was and like I knew that I was gonna feel even worse because I knew you were gonna want to carry the show. And you know what I mean? Because I knew you knew that I was having a bad day.
You was going through it at that point.
But then you were having a terrible weekend. So like I felt guilty about like thinking you were going to have to carry the show. And that's the way our minds work. We all just apologize to everybody.
And God knows I have no problem hearing myself talk. My family gives me shit for that all the time. But that was kind of the thing that me and him had talked about is how, you know, we transitioned from a big, huge department at work where we were really the main pivot points. Mm-hmm. He was the main data guy. I was the main process direction guy. And we were basically over like 140 people. Mm-hmm. We would put in 55, 60-hour work weeks. I even had one of my directors pull me in his office one day. He's like, why are you here right now? I was like, I've got to get stuff done. He's like, I know you worked 50 hours this week. I was like, yeah, but this has got to be done. He's like, you're a terrible father. I'm going to tell you why.
Oh, God.
And he went through and just like skewered me. Like I was crying like a child, like a baby in his office. And the man has no emotion. He's just like an android. But he's like, you're a bad father. You're missing, you know, everything going on at home. And still to this day, I consider him one of the best leaders I've ever had.
Yeah.
Work, coaching, sports, it don't matter. I mean, he doesn't people well, but when he does people, he cuts you to the core. But that's kind of, he kind of hit me with something, and he said the same thing to Chris, which is the colleague I'm talking about. And this is something that we've always kind of kept in the back of our minds, is like a little slogan that we have. But it's basically, you're always replaceable at work. You're irreplaceable at home.
You preaching, baby.
So that's what, now that I'm in my own department and I don't have 150 people, and he's doing analytics, and he's just literally going through, you know, pulling reports and metrics and things like that, we realized we were not as needed as we thought we were.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the big thing, is we were like, God, you know, if something was to happen to us tomorrow, this beast wouldn't keep rolling. No, it just turns out they just shut the damn thing down.
Oh, shit. You're right. It wouldn't keep rolling, but they didn't care.
They didn't care. And that would kind of really shook both of us to our core, is we thought we were so damn important.
Yeah, your job will replace you tomorrow, right? But your family's not going to, and that really plays into, you know, what we're all about.
Yeah. Well, our whole entire self-worth was tied into this department.
Yeah.
Like everything. It was like our calling card. And like there was so many, like me and him would get in fights all the time because we were so stressed out, and then laugh and cry about it later on, hug, make up. Like it was a very stressful endeavor. Took a long time to get through all of it, but that was
die young if you keep that pace. So
100%. Like there were some days like there's this job, and when I worked at GameStop, it's the only 2 times in my life I've ever been so stressed that I've had nosebleeds from work.
Yeah.
And that is...
You were a hard person to be around when you worked at GameStop.
It was a miserable, miserable job.
Yeah, you hated it every single... The only time you liked it was you liked midnight lunches. Like
I thrived off of that.
And Madden.
Oh, yeah. Any kind of sports release, I had the time of my life with that. And that 1 week a year when they sent you on the opposite side of the country to go play shit, and they fed you all the time, that was a blast.
They didn't do that, though, the last like 2 or 3 years. Remember, that was like...
That last year, they wasn't going to send us cross country. They were going to send us to Indy.
It's like, nope.
We were going to go to Indianapolis. I'm like, fuck, I can drive there. That ain't fun. But it was just a different type of work. And what I've learned over time with my own mental health journey is I have this, and we've kind of talked about it before, this irrational fear of losing my job and not being able to provide for my family.
And for me, like, knowing the kind of employee you are, it's so irrational, though, that like they shut down a department that you worked in and still kept you around.
Yeah.
So like it's for me.
They kept most of us. They kept a lot of us around for that. But like, I was afraid that I was going to get transitioned into something I would really hate, and me and Chris were really taken care of.
Yeah,
we really were. I think there was some skepticism going into those moves, but we proved very quickly that we were valuable enough to be able to
it's the only thing that stays the same in the call center world is everything changes.
Yeah, it's only constant. Which is funny, like you were talking about, it's funny that you feel that way because this, and this. The reason I feel that way is because I was conditioned that way.
Oh, yeah.
And I think I've suppressed this, but I look back at it now, and like my manager even, admitted to it later on. One of the first main leaders that I had in GameStop, he would almost kind of tell you that he is a king manipulator.
Oh.
He will find people that he knows that are eager.
It's the guy that fucking did my interview?
No.
Okay,
You didn't meet this guy. But he was always very hungry. He was hungry to find people that were eager to please, people pleasers.
Oh, okay.
Because he knew that he could manipulate that. He even said that he told me one time as a leader, he said, find those people. He said, because they're going to work.
Find people pleasers?
Yeah. Because they're going to work so hard for you to go, attaboy, and pat them on the head. That will call you 15 times a day to get your approval, your sense of approval.
That sounds awful.
He did that. And he found that in me. And he told me that later on. He said, I knew that I had you and I could have done whatever I needed to do.
Oh, yeah.
To squeeze as much talent.
That's so funny that I just randomly brought that up earlier without knowing that you were going to say that.
He did. Like, I think I've suppressed that at times. That I try to bury that deep down.
Yeah.
But in turn, I think that's what created my complex. Because I was so eager to please him that if something happened and it failed, I'm not only just letting my family down, I was letting down him.
Yeah.
And he knew that. Like at one point, before we found that we were expecting Asher, he had us set up to move all the way to Nashville. We were going to move to Nashville for a store.
I remember that.
Just about did it. And then we found out that week prior that she was pregnant. And we're like, we ain't going to have a support network and we can't go.
Because shout out Larry, because he was going to be like mixed in that deal somewhere, right? Like he was going to try to do Norton, I guess, or something was going to happen.
So at that point in time, I was not actually a store manager yet. I was still an assistant manager in waiting, like waiting for a store. Yeah. So that was and that's the ones that you usually wanted to leverage.
Yeah. From
a mental health perspective and that have really that oppressive thumb on. It's like, this person knows they're like, you can't see it, but I'm like saying,
what's terrible close. Is that's like the worst kind of management, right? Mm-hmm. That it's like,
it's exploitative.
It's just completely manipulative.
Yep.
All the way to its core.
100%. That was the way that it was set up. Because they knew, and that's the thing too, especially when they got around the summer months, they knew people that were hungry for a store would do anything they could to get one before the end of July hit, because August is when you went on that trip.
Yeah.
That's what everybody really wanted. Obviously, they wanted the pay and shit like that, but they wanted that plane ticket to LA or Vegas or wherever it was that year. I know San Antonio, we were there a couple times.
That's wild, though. That's so, like, it's
GameStop.
That's so, like...
I mean, at one point,
it's almost cringy.
It was listed as the number 2 worst company. This is when I worked there, and I want to say 16. It was the number 2 worst company to work for in the continental U.S.
Isn't it funny that it's still that bad of a company, but like now it's like they had a resurgence because we memed them back into existence?
Yeah. It's our fault that they're still there.
It is, because they were going to bankrupt, right? That's why it was so low.
They were going to bankrupt.
That whole shit. Well, maybe we'll have somebody on smarter than us one day, and they can talk about that whole shit.
Listen, I don't understand stock market or anything.
I think shout out Cody Prater. I'm pretty sure
I could see Cody.
He screwed with some of that.
Speaking of mental health, and I'm going to do a slight segue here because I think this is fantastic. I've not seen you so happy from a mental perspective because of all the additional work that you've been doing outside of this podcast.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think I figured out what I have to do to not be depressed all the time. And it's just constantly be doing something.
You got to be busy.
Yeah.
Like, and that's funny because like your entire life, you've been the laziest human being I've ever met.
So fucking lazy, dude.
And it turns out what makes you a better person is not being lazy.
I'm still like, I just want to sit on the couch today, but content has to get made. So we're recording like 3 things this week.
I think, this is what, the 4th?
Yeah.
The 3rd or the 4th? Like, we went to the game on Friday night. I didn't get a chance to see you up in the booth, but like you kept sending me pictures and stuff. I'm like, I know he's in his element right now. This is perfect.
Yeah.
And you've been positively beaming.
Yeah.
Like you've been a different human being.
Yeah. I think maybe also it goes hand in hand what we always talk about, but doing something you love,
Yeah.
you know, and
creative spark.
yeah, well, and making content's,
Yep.
you know, something we should have been doing for a long time.
I agree.
Something we love doing.
Dude, this little, like, I know my wife hates me right now, like, thoroughly, but I'm telling you, like, and for those that don't follow social media or where me and Dusty are at, but I took my kids to Spirit Halloween, and there's this stupid red demon that jumps out and scares everybody that goes by, and I saw it, like, project out and jump. My kids hadn't came around the corner yet. They were over there looking at Beetlejuice shit, and they were coming around Nightmare Before Christmas in that little aisle.
Beetlejuice.
And the thing was retracting back down.
Twice.
Yeah, it's twice. No, okay.
No, nobody got there.
It was retracting and coming back down. I was like, I'm getting my phone out. This is a good opportunity. Film a video. It's like a 27-second video of it scaring the bejesus out of Asher and Amber.
Well, it was hilarious. What made it funny was Asher, like, chest puffed like he was a badass because, like it wasn't going to scare him. And then, boy, he scooted boots and hit the ground.
Well, he chest puffed, and then when he come up off the ground, he's holding his chest. He's clutching it. And Amber, like, if you freeze frame her, she's just purely mortified.
She reacted exactly like a little girl her age should react.
And just the same as a 4-year-old should. So I'm like, I'm going to put this shit on TikTok. I'm just going to see what happens, throw a couple of hashtags on. I've been kind of like playing around with the algorithm and kind of see how it works. I was like, oh, cool. This thing got like 1,000 views.
Yeah.
3,000.
Wake up.
7,000. Went to bed that night and it was at like 15. I was like, this went pretty quick. This is almost as viral as the one that we put on our unpaid lunch. And then, unfortunately, I ripped that one off of somebody. Don't tell them. But
It's fine.
Shortcut.
Whatever gets you there.
But we posted that one and it just blew
at
up.
unpaid lunch.
At unpaid lunch.
Plug God.
So it was going through the same trajectory as that. And I was like, well, I'm going to go to bed. We'll see what happens. If we get up in the morning and it's, you know, a couple tens of thousands, you know, I might have something here. Get up the next morning, it's like 103,000. I was like, shit.
Hey.
This might keep going. Go to bed the next night, wake up 700K. I'm like, or it's like 600K. I was like, if this hits 1 million, I'm going to crack up. Like a 25-second video of my kids getting scared to death. Go to bed that night at 760, wake up the next morning at 1.6 million. I was like, what the fuck happened?
And it's perfect timing too. And it was everything. Like, you sent it to me, and I sent it to like 5 or 6 people because I legitimately, like, out of context, thought it was funny. You know what I mean?
Like, you didn't know
like,
it was my kids.
Yeah, I was like, this is funny. I would watch this video anyway.
Yeah.
Like, and everybody I sent it to was like, I sent it to people who don't know your kid. My mom don't know your kid.
So then all of a sudden, like before we hit the record button a minute ago, I just refreshed it again, and I posted this a week ago, and it just hit 3 million views. I was like, that small video and me just going through and just being a little bit obsessive compulsive and refreshing ever so often and seeing how many likes and stuff came in.
Yeah.
It's literally got me through my week this week.
Yeah.
It's insane, but like it really kind of fueled the week. And I was like, this is just, I feel like something I've done creatively paid off.
And then there's like fine lines too. That's like, you don't want to watch it too much because you don't want to get like,
yeah.
Are you getting close to the obsession line?
Oh, no, I'm already there.
Oh, yeah.
I've blown that obsession line all the shit. It's blown up. It's like I'll be sitting there. I'm like, hey, Brittany. And she's like, if you say another word about that stupid
if
video.
If you say how many likes it has, she's
like,
you.
It's good. It's good, baby. I'm glad it does. I'm like, it's awesome.
I'm trying to support you.
It's like, and now it's like, now I'm like trying to recreate it and try to have something else. She's like, now I just feel like you're exploiting your children for creative gain. I'm like, I am. That's what I have.
What do you mean? What do you think LeBron's doing?
Why else do you have kids, man?
What do you mean? I want my kids to make it, not because I want my kids' success, because I want to be rich from my kids' success.
Well, it's like my son, he's smart enough already. I mean, he knows how social media works. He's like, listen, I'm in that video. So if we blow up and we make money off of it, I want...
He will 100%
He
sue
gave
your
me
ass.
a list of shit that he wants.
He would 100% sue your ass for his money.
He will Britney Spears me.
Yeah, he 100% would.
Like, it's going to happen.
He was like, I'm not getting any of this money from these royalties.
Nope.
Soon as dad.
Nope. He's like, yep, I need a Easton Hot Fire bat for baseball. I need some new wrestling shoes. I need a knee pad. I want a dirt bike. I'm like, you're giving me this like I'm Santa Claus.
Hey, listen, can I tell you something about the dirt bike thing?
What's up?
I think your son might die on a dirt bike.
He can't ride a bicycle.
I said what I said. I think your son might die on a dirt bike.
I think he would.
Yeah, I
don't want to get him one.
Yeah, I think he would go really fast and then would stop.
I pulled him out of a creek on a bicycle. Yeah. He wrecked off of a bridge.
Well, he's just like he has no fear mode sometimes, and like I think Like my niece Julie has a 4-wheeler my dad bought her, and it's really powerful and really fast. And she has no fear. So when she like takes turns at like full blast, and it goes up on 2 wheels. She just don't care.
Well, the main reason he wants a dirt bike right now is he wants to do wheelies.
Well, sure.
I mean, I
don't want to fucking. I've been a little boy before. I know why he wants a dirt bike.
He literally doesn't say, "Hey, I want to go trail riding. I want to go do this. I want to hang out with friends." Like, I just want that dirt bike so I can do wheelies in the backyard. I'm like, no.
Take it off some sick jumps and do wheelies on it. That's what you do on a dirt bike. You know what people on TV do on dirt bikes? Hit jumps and do wheelies.
So you know what I told him the other day, and he got pissed. And then what's funny?
You buy him a scooter?
No, I told him, I said, dude, Mount Chiliad on Grand Theft Auto 5 is perfect for all the jumps that you want to do. Get up, take your dirt bike up there. You can go ride your wheelies out. You can do some virtual riding. And he just gave me a look and walked away.
You jump off the base of it, jump straight into the military base. Still a jet.
Came back 3 hours later. He's playing Grand Theft Auto. He's on top of Mount Chiliad riding his dirt bike.
Oh, are our kids playing GTA together? Because Gabby plays too.
I don't think so.
Are they randomly just playing GTA together?
I still think they kind of hate each other and they don't talk to each other unless it's wrestling season.
I know, but it's kind of like this, like mutual, like I think he might pull her out of a flaming house and then cuss at her the whole time he's like doing it. You know what I mean?
I can see that.
He's like, Jesus, why'd you get stuck in there? What an idiot. It's because, you want to say why? It's because, like, I don't know if we've mentioned it or not. It's because she's a teacher's pet. And
oh, yeah. He calls her a narc.
Yeah.
Narc.
She is. That's fair.
She shushes everybody in
she
class.
Is. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to be in her class. I'm like, he's like, Dad, she's shush girl. I'm like, what is shush
Just cheat off of her, though.
That's what I told him. I mean, he's getting good grades and stuff. He's doing fine. It's just, he's a turd.
Yeah, I didn't mean how you kid needs to cheat off my kid. I just meant like he don't have to do any work if he just hangs out behind her. And,
you watch what'll end up crazy is like 15 years from now we're going to be father-in-laws. It's going to be awkward.
Man, I feel like I'm gonna hurt your feelings if I say anything here.
No,
I'm just
bring him in here. Hurt his feelings. He needs to be knocked out of
come in here. I feel like that would be the most awkward. That'd be great if we bring them both in here and talk about that. That'd be awesome. It's going to ruin their whole wrestling.
Incredibly awkward podcast episode.
It probably would not even be fun because they just sit here.
They probably would. But speaking of that, which is kind of funny, we were talking about this last night, and I kind of put it on social media. We've been talking about it, but my God, these kids' vocabulary these days.
No cap.
Oh, man, it's not even the cat part. Like, it took me, I had to ask 3 different people before my phone finally got charged enough to figure out what the fuck Riz means.
What's that mean?
I'm apparently it's short for charisma or something like that.
Riz
From what
is short
I can
for charisma?
find out.
That's kind of cool.
Basically, when you're saying you're rizzing someone, you're putting the moves on them. That's what I understand. Keisha,
did you know that?
I'm getting a nod out of Keisha.
Did you know that, Wes?
Yeah, see, he didn't know. Tim Bug said if I kept saying Riz long enough, where was you going to go?
Well,
you was going to go to Urban Dictionary, wasn't you? Because that's where I was at all night last night.
Key has a son who talks in that.
Well, that's it. See, like they're at that teenage age right now. My 9-year-old's thinking that he's that cool.
Yeah. No, he literally, Hunter talks that way. He talks in that language. I don't know what he's saying most of the time.
Asher, come here.
Children.
Well,
Children. It's going to scream into the mic. Children paging Asher
David,
Johnson.
Asher.
Paging Asher Johnson.
I want to see how he explains it.
Your family's ready to go at the front. Did you ever get called at Walmart?
Yes.
You ever shopping? How many times did your mom go to the front desk and be
It
like,
wasn't my mom. It was my grandmother that just, God.
that was super fucking loud.
I told you to go get him, not put the fear of God into him. Jesus Christ,
he just
man.
walked into the kitchen and yelled his name.
Come here real quick. All right, into the mic. You're going to be on the episode. Say hi, everybody.
Hi.
Okay, so I want you to explain what Riz is.
It's like pickup lines.
Pickup lines? It's basically putting the moves on a girl or a guy.
Gabby, do you know what Riz is?
Yeah.
She's kind of getting that.
She didn't know either.
So is that what it is? It's basically just pickup lines,
Yeah.
putting the moves. Like, give us an example of Riz.
No.
Okay,
No, I
you can go play
can't
it.
We're talking about when Cole got mad at me.
No, but we can't talk about that. That's 100% why I had to start looking
Riz.
it up.
Hey, no cap. He knows what Riz is.
Come here.
No cap.
I'm gonna put you
Hunter
on
knows what
episode
Riz
now.
is.
Explain what Riz is.
Put him on a hot mic. He can't do it. Everybody,
Nope.
nobody can talk into a mic.
No way. Like the mic goes in that direction. Hands go over the face.
Hunter, who will walk into a room and have any conversation with any person ever you put a mic in front of him, he's like, no, I'm good.
Nope.
I can't talk about it. He's not going to explain it. Everybody's embarrassed. Everybody in the room is embarrassed.
Bashful. But yeah, him and one of his buddies, they were fighting back and forth. I don't know if it's over like TikTok content or what, but like I get a message from one of Asher's friends, is like, tell him to stop trying to steal all my Riz. I put on all the Riz work I put on all these girls. I'm like, he has a girlfriend, dude. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, he's trying to Riz up all my women. I'm
going to lose it. I'm going to lose it.
So then I have to message his dad. I'm like, is he legit mad? Like, he's messaging me and he's like, send me screenshots.
Tell if he's mad or not.
And they're fighting. And then his dad messages me back. He's like, I don't know if he's real mad or not, but I had to take his phone from him because by the time I got in there, he's pissed after he's talking about it. I was like, Jesus.
Because we don't know what Riz is.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, I don't know what the hell Riz means.
Taking all my Riz. Does he mean raspberries? Is he talking about raspberries? What does he mean?
So, Urban Dictionary is my friend right now.
Yeah, I think every parent has looked up a word in the Urban Dictionary.
It gets worse when they hit towards the teenage years. That middle school, right before high school, it's a train wreck.
Yeah, Clay and Hunter can have a whole conversation in the car, and it's like a whole different language. I don't understand what they're talking about.
But I guarantee you, if any of these kids are in high school, you'll never catch them dead saying the word Riz.
Oh.
I think it's like
dead ass.
That middle school age, like transitioning into that.
I don't know.
It's been a friggin' train wreck.
I have friends that hang out at high schools.
Oh God. What
Key pulled up Urban Dictionary for Riz, I think.
I was right. Is charisma. Which I did look that up. Merriam-Webster added 690 new words to the dictionary this year, and Riz is one of them. So Riz is an official word now.
That's sad.
It's short for charisma and simply means an ability to charm and woo a person.
Yeah.
It's pronounced Riz, just like it's spelled. R-I-Z-Z. What? Bottom one. You're rizzing them up.
You're rizzing them up.
Riz describes someone's verbal swagger.
You know what kind of sucks?
Employed while flirting.
What kind of sucks is like...
There's someone that hosts a Riz Academy. I got to get in on this.
You think, like, hype, right? Like, because it's hype and Riz are not that much different.
Pretty much the same thing, except when you say something's hyped up, it's a little bit different, whereas Riz is like flat out, like straight up insinuated flirting.
Sure, yeah, but does it lay hard on flirting, or can it be like, can I Riz you up? Because
I don't know.
What do you think, Hunter? Nah, Hunter says that's sus. Hunter says that's sus.
Hunter came in like by the door. It's like, no, you ain't rizzing nobody, man.
Hunter was like, it was sus. No, don't do it. Sus, is that right? Sus?
Did he use sus right? No cap.
He hates people that say sus, no cap. I know.
He says no cap, no sus.
Hey,
bruh.
Remember, you can't be pretty and smart.
Oh, God. Lord,
which one are you?
Oh, God.
Oh, I think, you're smart enough.
I feel like we just need a hot mic on.
Just
bring all the kids in here and just put a hot mic on.
When you get like a lapel pin mics.
Well, here's the thing, though. Right now, as long as they're across the threshold and they're in the kitchen, they have the balls to talk. But we bring them in here and they're like, no, get that mic away.
Can't go into studio.
Look at him, he's shaking his head right now.
We had something hanging up.
No.
We'll just have them all replace us for a whole episode.
I mean,
Hunter can be for Keishan, and Asher and Clay and
you know
Gabby
what's funny
can be
is
here.
they would blow up.
Oh, it'd be awesome. They do such a better job than we
wouldn't
would.
be able to sustain it.
Because, like, what do we talk about? They'd probably talk about
what our kids do 90% of the time.
Yeah.
And what we have to do at work to not make us not hate our lives to pay for what our freaking kids are doing.
Yeah.
I mean, am I wrong? That's literally
like
what life is.
we
Once you
need
have
to-
kids, it's like literally your job and everything you do is to make sure they're not making you miserable.
We need to collab with Clayson and Jake, Rad Dads.
Yeah.
The Rad Dads podcast. I think we cuss a lot for them, too much for them, but I think we still have a good time. I pulled Clayson out of the mud one time, so he owes me.
Clayson Fields?
Yeah,
I didn't know they had a podcast.
yeah, and
I love Clayson.
Yeah, and Jake, they go to church together, and they started. I used to play cards with Jake, Sexton. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
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 Yeah, I played cards with Jake, and then I've known Clayson.
I have to check it out. What's the name of it again?
Clayson lived up the road up here when the flood happened.
Okay.
Rad Dads.
Rad Dads.
Yeah, I think it's Instagram's at Rad Dads. I think I'll confirm that for sure before the
check that
episode's
out.
over. Yeah, it's pretty cool. They've done really well. I mean, they done better than we did when we started. We didn't know what we were doing. I still don't know what I'm doing. So, Rad Dad Roundtable. Sorry, I left part of it off. Rad Dad Roundtable. That's what it's at. Rad Dad Roundtable. I think they got a new episode, so we'll connect up with them.
Yeah, I know we're getting ready to transition to that part of the year where weekend sports is going to be nuts.
Yeah.
So, like, that's going to be another drain on mental health, is trying to figure out how to fit everything in.
Yeah.
We're going to have to start doing better.
So I had we had a week off, it was pretty cool. Like no sports because Gabby's basketball ended and Clay's football ended, and wrestling don't start till
Next week.
next week, but signups are tomorrow.
Signups are tomorrow.
And
That's
then-
one thing I was checking on today because they were flirting around
Well,
with the
signups
idea.
are it's coming out. The podcast coming out tomorrow, so it's today.
Today, exactly.
Today, signups are today.
So, we were going to try to do open mats and stuff like that. Try to potentially get the kids ready for a tournament 2 weeks from now. If some of them wanted to go. I don't know if that's still what we're going to end up doing. We're kind of jockeying for a new practice room location.
For the sake of good podcasting, remind me to tell you later. Somebody I talked to about it earlier.
Sweet. All right, dig that.
Just it's not going to make any sense to anybody on here. So.
No, but that's fantastic. But we're trying to get everything worked out there, and my son's wanting to play basketball and wrestle at the same time, which I think is damn near impossible. Not going to happen.
You could do it.
I don't know. Like, Caden done it last year, was still like a state wrestling champ, but the kid had been wrestling for like 3 or 4 since he's like 4 or 5 years old. So he had like 4 or 5 years experience.
Yeah.
And even as good as Caden is, he even admitted when he came back from basketball. That's one thing that's kind of cracked me up is everybody talking. They're like, man, let him play basketball. It's going to get him in great shape. I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about.
So wrestling's what's going to get him in shape anyway.
Wrestling is going to get him in shape. So, and that's the thing, like even Caden played a full basketball season, running every day in practice, running every day in games. And he came in towards the back end of wrestling season, and he said, I am not in shape.
Yeah,
And
you
that
don't.
blows my mind, man.
Well, you would think that it would. You would think that it would put you in shape, but it just doesn't. Like,
No.
not like, especially not like wrestling does. Like, was it the Office episode when he's like, what's his name? Robert California is like, he's like, I can roll. He's like, I can do 4 hours of cardio 3 times a week. He's like, or I can roll around with Todd once a month. And he's like,
It's legit.
yeah, it's just grapple for a while.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, I try to explain to everybody. They're like, oh, basketball's going to get you in the best shape that you can be in. I'm like, you don't know what kind of shape you're in until you have someone that's your same amount of weight on top of you trying to push your face into a mat.
Yeah, it's
And you're fighting for your life.
and I don't think I knew.
I didn't until last year. They always used to say there is no shape like wrestling shape. And I was like, that's horseshit.
That conditioning too, and you wouldn't think that because it's 3-minute segments that are like the fastest. It goes by so quick, and like the kids are so dead. Like,
watch boxing and UFC. Some of these guys are winded in 1 minute. And our freaking armchair warriors are back here. It's like, fuck, I could fight that match.
Yeah.
Go 3 rounds. Ain't nothing to me. I'm running 5 miles outside. It's different.
yeah,
It's different.
And we've seen last year that cardio is what makes the difference, right?
Oh,
in the wrestlers, like just outlasting people, especially because the tournaments take like all fucking day. Like you're there forever, and the kids
It'd be
wrestle
different if it's 1
10
match,
matches.
but like if they go 6 matches over the course of 6 or 7 hours,
Yeah.
having to wait, kind of cooling down, then ramping back up, get back into it. So we got that to look forward to coming up, juggling multiple different sports, holiday season. So 100%, everybody, keep that in mind. Don't let work stress you out to the point you're going to bring his shit home to your family. Don't do it. It ain't worth it.
It's not, man. I went through a job change. We've not really got to talk about it much, but like I'm in IT now at work, and it's totally different than being on the phones. Like, and I've not done anything but call center work for 6 years. 6 years or more is all I've done is call center work, and it's still call center work, but like, it's help desk. It's not, and it's so different than like everybody else taking phone calls. And I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, I mean,
that's nice to not fucking do that.
A huge change. And you can feel it too. Like when you come home, it's like I've told people before, when you're not in a stressful environment and you come home and you can feel like the stress, like kind of just throw off of you. Like weight is literally being lifted off of your body. That's why, in a way, I hated work at home.
Yeah. It was going to kill me.
I was the same way, man. Like that, I know we've talked about this before and I'm just rambling again, but that 40-minute drive home, it's my time for that stress to roll off my body. And just hit, Windows lock on your computer and then walk 3 feet over. I don't know how people do it.
Well, yeah, and I don't think I always struggle with like. Again, we've done it. I don't know if we've had a whole dedicated work from home episode.
We've kind of hinted at it.
Yeah, we've all over the place. But I struggle with like just knowing
that's coming up in the future.
Yeah, just knowing shit had to be done.
Yeah,
like knowing like I'm sitting at my desk and working, and just knowing shit had to be done. I know Key's done that. Like Key's worked from home a lot, and she fucking never quit. So, knowing that you got a bunch of stuff like at home, and you're at home, right? So it's like
that's the problem. So that right there is the juggling act, and we won't get too far into this because we can use this in another episode. But knowing that bed is 5 feet away is a struggle.
Well, I mean, you don't know that I clocked in and went back.
Oh, when you worked at home, you went back to bed.
I just went back to fucking bed.
If I was to try to do it, my phone would just blow up.
Yeah.
Like, there's no possible way that I could do that.
Yeah, difference in me and you, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
About that.
Now, I will admit this. Like, there's been time, like 90% of my day is done through an application. I know a lot of people know it's called Slack. So a lot of mine's communication. So, like, there's times where I don't even really have to be in front of a computer. I can have a phone in front of me. Like, my back was blown out at work. I was laying in the floor on a heating pad with my phone over top of my head typing up messages because that's 90% of what I've done is, just responding and corresponding to people. But
check on your funny friends.
Yeah.
Check people
especially from the depression side.
Yeah.
I immediately think of Robin Williams.
People are sad, yo. The thing I've learned in life is that people are sad in general. You know what I mean? Like everybody's like people put on a face and put on a show, and it's like at some point or another somebody else has been through the struggles. And something I learned, I'm rarely ever serious on this podcast, right? But something I learned a long time ago is I like problem shame myself. Like my problems are not as big as other people's problems.
Yep.
But somebody a long time ago told me, not a long time ago, but just since I've started figuring it out, is your problems are still your problems. No matter how big they are.
Ain't nobody else gonna carry them for you.
Because everybody else deals with shit, and everybody's got problems that other people don't have. But yeah, I'm not gonna be serious anymore.
Yeah,
that's it.
That feel bad.
Yeah, it felt fucking awful.
That heavy place. Yeah,
that's what I feel like. That's for a different time, different podcast.
Wrapping things up. We're going to try to make some changes to our format in the upcoming weeks. Do you want to speak to that? Kind of rolls right into all the socials and everything else.
Yeah, I really think we're going to start doing. I know we talked about it. We've probably talked about it for 30 weeks.
We have.
We've talked about it for 30 weeks, but now we've
been lazy.
Again, with the laziness, but now we have the capability. We want to change recording schedule and stuff, but we're going to start doing video on the podcast. I'm going to try to record all the episodes and then have shorts and stuff instead of just the normal shorts we do. Be actual shorts with us in them. None of us are very pretty, except,
I think it's what makes it great for the internet. They're like, God, look at these two hideous fucking chud of human beings sitting over here. Just look.
It'll be the back of Key's head. That's all the picture will be. That's all that's there. But yeah, hopefully we'll have that going soon. We can get on video. It's not as complicated as we all imagined it was.
Well, and that's why I love that you went on these other endeavors. It's kind of give you the confidence to know what you need to do.
I got to be forced. I have to be forced to do things.
Yeah.
Like in order, and like I have to be forced to learn them. Like I had no other option, and it was like, all right, I'll just figure out how to learn this, and I'll figure out how to do this, and.
I love it.
And so that's what we're gonna do, and we'll hopefully go live. We're gonna try to go live when we record. We can't do for the full time because we have potty mouths, and we'll get banned.
But we'll definitely at Unpaid Lunch on TikTok. We're gonna go live. Probably more pre-show than anything as we lead into the episode, and we're gonna just kind of chat and talk. Tonight
was pretty chill pre-show. I think we had a lot of the kids here. sometimes pre-show always feels different.
It is always different.
Like who's here? Like some nights we'll have like 25 people. Shout out OG Monroe. He's working tonight. That boy just needs to quit his job.
Yeah.
That's how we feel about it. Hey man, he's a trooper though. He works. If I had any of the health issues he had, I'd be like, nah, slap me on disability.
Work ethic on that kid's phenomenal.
It's nuts, man.
It's nuts.
Yeah, he's a way better person than any of us.
He definitely is.
That's all right. Yeah, but hopefully we'll have that in the future. We're going to change some of that stuff up, and just the whole thing is just to make everything better for everybody else.
What kind of even like tonight, like Keisha's is over working the board.
Yep.
Kind of give us some, reps behind that. That way we can kind of solidify that approach. But as always, at Unpaid Lunch, we're going to try to also take some of these shorts and reels and things like that and apply that to the Facebooks, YouTube.
Now that we figured out we're on it.
Fuck. And all these other wonderful social media platforms at Unpaid Lunch. We're going to try to get that material on there. And as always, definitely, if you're listening to this, you're already going through your preferred audio platform for podcasting. So continue to follow, download, all that good shiz.
And definitely check us out on Patreon. We do post a decent amount of exclusive content on there and just cool stuff. And
I definitely think that's going to pick up too once we get video.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's kind of why I want to do it. Is I kind of want to get just want to get all of it together, the video and everything, and I want people to be able to like
about additional segments and things like that we've kind of wanted to embark on,
and people to be able to see what we do.
Yep.
and kind of see everything that goes on. I know we post pictures and we post random videos and stuff, and but it's not necessarily.
We'll try to give you more.
Yeah, you don't necessarily get the whole thing. So shout out to all our patrons. Appreciate everybody sticking with us, through these 30, 35, 36 weeks that we've been doing this and having a great time.
I keep seeing this thing on this mat right here, and I think it's a toothpick, and I'm trying.
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing. You keep fucking touching something,
I'm
and then
trying to manifest a toothpick.
I know
on your freaking mat.
Every time you do it, I reach over and touch it too, like it might be there because I think you're pushing it around.
Well, I'm trying to pick it up.
I'm glad we're not on video.
Yeah, let's see. This is right now. This would be perfect Patreon content.
This would be awesome. I also just wanted people to see this sick playmat.
That's amazing.
Yeah, guys. That was a good show.
Yeah,
it was a good show. You had a lot of stuff on your mind tonight that you wanted to, and it was awesome. And Asher was here, and everybody did really good.
That was a good thing about having a week off. All of a sudden, like sometimes even in this, like this can trigger anxiety.
Oh yeah,
and depression. And it's like creator's block.
Well, you and I both kind of got into a thing where we were like thinking of this as like an obligation.
Yeah,
that we were doing,
mm-hmm.
And I think we kind of got out of that where like you got to be just.
I think us taking a week off is the greatest thing. I think we need to do that probably about once a quarter.
Yeah,
I think it's good. I think it's a good refresh.
Yeah, we probably need to do, but we'll just have a pre-recorded episode. We were just behind this time and didn't have one.
We didn't.
And
life kind of hit, and it happened really hard, really fast.
Yeah, I've got some interviews and stuff that nobody's heard yet. That some people asked me not to release yet, so I'm going to wait and see if they want me to, if they're ready for me to release them.
David looks up like, no, not mine.
But hopefully we'll get those out, and that's what we'll do. You got anything else?
No, I'm going to get this kid home, try to put him in the bed. I know he ain't got school tomorrow, but I got to get his sleep fixed again. This last week's killed us all.
All right, guys. Remember that ain't nobody stopping you from quitting your job but you.